All right, everybody, here is the newest Ver.Ka Master Grade. And I was surprised when I saw it was going to be the full armored Gundam from Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
That's relatively new, when it comes to the anime series.
Relatively new, although I did just recently put together that HG kit.
Exactly, but oftentimes when they're making something of Ver.Ka, it tends to be from some of the older series. Like we had the Victory Gundam.
Right.
V2, and we had, the High New and the New. So now we're kind of getting a new thing, a new Ver.Ka. So first of all, we should mention that this box it's pretty fat. Like, look at that.
It's a pretty good sized box.
I
Might be
love
about
the
the same
artwork.
size as the Sinanju, though.
I think it might be a little bit lower. I think the
okay.
Shenanigans is just a little bit higher, but definitely it's comparable. And I just want to show this because it's pretty cool. Like, check that out.
Wow.
And check out all the armor.
Yeah, that was fun on the HG kit.
Yeah,
It's going to be doubly fun on the Master Grade.
That's right. Wait till you have to do the Psycho Zaku with its 18 bazookas. Okay, so opening up the box. What do we got in here?
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, man, is that Facepalm Gundam? Facepalm Gundam, it's okay.
Wah.
It's okay, we won't forget you, bro. You're not going to be replaced. You're just going to be put in a place of honor. That's what I say over here. Actually, there's nothing in this box, but I did it this way because I wanted to show everybody the manual first, and then we're going to do runner by runner like we did before. So
we're all ready.
alrighty, so here's the manual. Full armor Gundam.
Look at that artwork.
Gundam Thunderbolt Ver.Ka. Yeah, that's pretty standard. This is the actual kit. It's not artwork, I believe. So, and then if you've never built a Ver.Ka before, you get this kind of stuff in the manual, like explanations as to the kit and the pilots and stuff like that.
Hope you guys can read Japanese.
There you go. It unfolds out, and you get all the shots that they use for promotions and things like that. They really kind of take it to the next level on these Ver.Ka kits, and I really like this shot right here. I might have more fun playing with this guy without his armor on. Now, of course, it's pretty fat. Like, there is a lot of pages in here. One thing I want to note here is that we're given 3 pages of runner listing. It goes up to K, and then you have the stands and everything else. And you're actually assembling the base first. Like, it's like a PG kit. You actually assemble the base first, and then you can start building a kit because you're gonna have to put stuff on there.
I like that core fighter.
Yeah, it's called the emergency pod.
Emergency pod.
The emergency pod.
It's really nice looking. Don't get that on the HG kit.
Of course not. It's the first time you've had something like this on the MG2. There are 33 pages in this manual, and the last 2 are the marking guide. So I will actually mention here, for people who may not know, looking at that marking guide, that the markings are water slide decals.
Water slides.
So a lot of people are happy, yay, water slide decals, because before you had to order them separately for some Master Grades and RG kits and such. But some people might be like, oh, you know what, I'm not too good with water slides. I'd rather have stickers. Well, if that's the case, I just want to say you might need to just practice a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of stuff on here.
It's
Remember,
not too hard.
It's a Ver.Ka, which means you're going to have a whole ton of these small
things.
Flipping this over, though, I wanted to kind of show these things here. I'm not quite sure exactly what they are, so why don't we, open this up here and pull them out.
Okay, is that going to be for, what is that going to be for?
And maybe it's for the joints. Maybe it's what we're putting the joints
those are
in.
the covers for the joints.
Right. We, of course, will be talking about this on the show when we get there. But it says we have the color seal, which are these right here. These are
our usual foil stickers.
There's quite a few there. Then you're getting the water slide decals. We are talking about those. Then it's called the frame cover hosoi and frame cover futoi. So you're getting frame covers that are thin and frame covers that are fat. So that's what these are. So you're going to be putting these around joints.
Right. So on the HG kit, that was actually molded into the plastic. But here it's going to be a flexible, actual crinkly looking joint.
Yeah. Well, molded into the plastic on the HG at least made it look like it was something that would, crinkle or unfold as a joint. Elongated and such. This way you're actually going to see it move and change shape.
Right, and on the HG kit you had those lines where the parts were separated, so if you look closely enough you can see that, which is kind of distracting, but here it's like a completely covered joint, which is going to be really nice look, I think.
I think so as well. If you get it lined up properly. I imagine it might be kind of tricky, but I haven't done it, so I don't know. But if you get it lined up incorrectly, maybe it bunches up in the wrong spot. So.
Well, if it's a master grade, so if it was too easy, that wouldn't be so
exactly with the amount of parts we have. I mean, the first chance we get to see these things come in the arm, and I will show you here.
Okay, here we go.
You actually assemble the arm frame here, and then you drop the frame cover hosoi for the arms, drops onto the entire length of the frame. Then you're going to plug a part in there to keep it there. It actually says you have a piece going to tie it.
Yeah, you got.
And then you snip off the edge of it, so it looks like that. Okay, now we're just getting crazy here. So it looks like you are meant to secure it in a very specific spot before the armor goes on, in which case it's going to have the effect that we're all hoping for. I imagine this is going to be really interesting to build.
I hope that joint holds it in there really well, because after it's finished, if that comes apart, that's not going to be so fun
there's
to
the leg
fix,
one.
I'm sure.
The leg one actually goes all the way up the leg frame and around the hip joint.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool as well. Man, this is getting crazy here. A lot of cutting. A lot of cutting going on. Like, you know, you put it on, and then you
put the attachment
push
ring
this up and put the attachment ring through, make sure it's pulled through, and then you cut the edges off.
Oh, man.
Man. You know, you do the piping on like the 2.0 Mark IIs and stuff like that. This is going to be similar. So let's go runner by runner now. Remember, we have a lot. You can count along with us.
Yeah.
First, we'll do single. Here's the A runner.
Okay, multiple color runner.
Multiple color runner. You can see you got the canopy there for the core fighter, or whatever you want to call it, the escape pod.
Escape pod, that's right.
There you go. There's only 4 of those clear parts. We're getting a little bit of the darker red here, and then a couple of the yellow parts here.
Yeah.
Fins or whatever. That'll be for
that's like the hip.
That's going to be the center skirt, but I wonder why there's 2. Maybe the one for the core fighter or whatever we're going to call it. We won't know until we build it, but once we find out, we'll be showing it on the show. So that's the A runner. Put it over here. So what we have next? The B runner, and Todd is also got a B runner.
We got 2 B runners, so this is identical.
These are identical. This starts getting to the frame part here, and this looks like it's an attachment, possibly for I was going to say an action base, but maybe it's for the weapons that mount on the shoulders.
Well, when I was looking at that manual, one of these is X'd off, I noticed.
Oh, okay. So likely one of these is going to be for the base, because I noticed the base when we show it, you're not actually using one part of it. So we'll get to that. So let's take the B runners away.
Okay.
B runners. Next up is a C runner.
C runner.
Oh, you have one of those as well?
I do, so another identical runner here.
Yeah, and you can see there's another part here that looks to be for the base.
Right, so I wonder if you could double these 2 up to make that longer.
Yeah, I think that's part of the plan. And we'll talk about that after, because I just put the manual aside, so like these big joints here as well. Okay, let's see. Do we have a D? Todd, do you have a D? Don't worry, I got the D.
Nope.
Okay, now this is just a kind of simple runner. You can see, I guess, is the, what do you call railgun?
Yeah, that's going to be those railguns on the side.
The head armor parts. One thing I really think is cool is look at all the detail in the fingers and the molding.
Yeah, that looks good, though they're not flexible, but
they're not
the
flexible,
detail is
they're
nice.
swappable. The detail is nice now. If you're building the joints and they have that plastic over top of them that will crinkle like a covering, my inclination would be to get a Gundam marker and kind of color all into the joints here.
Make it
give the
black.
same effect. I think that would be cool thing to do. And we have a nice, somewhat sharp V fin in there.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Okay. Now we have, is this E?
Okay, so I got an E2.
Yeah, you can see we got parts for the legs here. Those are front and back of the leg. We can see parts for the shoulders, parts for the arms.
Right.
Side of the legs. So this is going to be your symmetrical stuff. All right. Next up.
Okay.
F.
So we're getting into the shields here.
Yeah, we're getting into the shields here. You're getting 4 of these things, remember?
Yeah.
But you're not stickering all in orange, thank goodness.
Yeah.
So there you go. These are quite sizable, as you can see.
Yeah, those are some pretty good shields.
These pieces here for that monster backpack. This thing is loaded. Okay, now I got a G runner. This is me. There's only one of these. This is the dark blue runner.
Okay.
You have these large parts here for the backpack, as well as that blue on the torso. All those parts are found in here. So this will probably be soon exhausted once you start building that torso. Okay, what's next?
All right.
I think you got an H up there.
H, okay.
H. This is the rest of the blue. This is for the
then. We got
symmetrical parts.
It looks like we got some of the feet parts in there
all
too.
the feet parts here. Looks like the covers for the lower legs as well. And here's some parts for the shoulders. So there you go. This looks like it might be for the torso, but who knows? Until you start building. It's all new, everybody. We don't know what it's going to be. Yeah, that's true, but sometimes they just mold them and say don't use it, right? Like this runner is a perfect example. You pull it up here, We have the parts for the 4 shields,
Right.
weapons. And this might be the locking thing for the
Those are locking
stuff.
joints?
Perhaps. We don't know. All the little missiles are in here, but this thing here, it says in the manual you're not going to use one of them. So they give you 2, but you're only going to use 1. So you'll have an extra one.
Good for the parts bin.
That's right. Next up, I got a J1 runner. I think you got a somewhat of a J runner over there.
I have a J2, so that's going to only be the same as the upper part there, looks like.
Right, yeah. So down here you have the arm-mounted guns here. And I like the detailing here.
Whoa, that looks nice.
Yeah, it's recessed in there as well. Parts here for the shoulder-mounted missile launchers. Yeah, it does look pretty good. Okay, then we got the K.
Okay.
Okay. 2K.
K1
Why
and K2, so
K1
they're
and
actually
K2.
different.
Yeah,
so this is missing this bottom
right
part
here, yeah.
here.
And this is, of course, the torso parts,
Right.
you know, for the, how do you say, the vents, chest vents. There you go. Parts for our shield, again, very sizable. And then just all these little things which we're going to find on the legs and shoulders, right? All these little
I like
openings.
that mesh work on these vents. That looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it does. You can see right through there. Really a lot of detail in there. Okay, so do you have anything else over there?
We do. So, of course, we have. Which should I start off with?
Start with the runner, actually. The
This was
Oh, you already showed that?
That
Then
was the
start
J,
off with that.
so
Sorry,
we have
my
our
bad. This is the base. You're getting a base. Now it looks
display
very familiar, right?
Yeah.
You've seen this kind of base
I've put
before.
this one together before, rather recently.
That's right. I'll show it later. This here, you're not using it.
Okay,
It says in the
so-
manual you are not using it. Maybe it's not tall enough, or maybe they want to give you something else.
Or
So-
it just doesn't have the connector for it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they
Well,
don't
it'd be a
want
good
use
part
that.
to keep, and you can whack your brother or sister with it or
Well,
something.
you could just maybe double up on one base and mount 2 things.
There you go.
Yeah, if
Get
you're-
creative.
There you go. Okay, what else do you got in there?
Dun-dun-dun.
Okay, beam sabers. No
Beam
big deal.
sabers.
Yeah, yay, we're going to end on the beam sabers. No, we're not,
No,
because we
we're
got
not.
one more. This is SB1.
We got
by the
one
way.
more. This is
Yep.
the most exciting part.
You need these.
Polycaps.
Polycaps. Okay, now a little disappointed that we're seeing polycaps in this many of them anyway. Especially with these heavy joints that we're going to have.
Yeah, well, every kit can't be the Sinanju.
I know, but it should. So anyway, you're going to get lots of joints here. This looks like it's going to be for the shoulders, and there's a lot more. This is
Yeah.
probably the head here, so maybe copy some of the design from the 2.0 MG, but most of these polycaps look quite a bit different than what I'm used to seeing. These ones I have. So yeah, you're going to be probably building, when you build the frame, you're going to be using all these polycaps.
Yeah. Okay.
We have, just to recap, we have a
Squeeze
lot of
this in.
runners. Were you counting along at home? Because we're not gonna do this again, right? And we have that big manual, and we have the water slides,
Decals.
and we decals, and we have our foil stickers, and we have the fat and thin frame covers.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay, that'll be an interesting build, I think.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You'll see it hopefully in the next week's episode of Gunpla TV.